Leann Brackney, and welcome to Wonderfest USA.
My name is Terry Webb, and I am the editor of a magazine titled Amazing Figure Modeler. It covers the sci-fi monster craze that's going on in the figure kit world today. With this particular magazine, issue number 21 is at the printers, and I have worked with another magazine some of the people out there might be familiar with a long time ago called Model and Toy Collector magazine, and I worked with them issue number 6 through 26. The model line that we have, actually I like all of them, but I would have to say probably the Nosferatu was our latest release, is probably the one I'm happiest with. Upcoming projects. Right now, we just wrapped up a vampire issue. It's issue number 21. Very good if you're into vampires. I highly recommend you check it out. Our next model kit we're doing was sculpted by Mike Hill. It's I Was a Teenage Werewolf, and it has a German Shepherd with it along with the base. That's what we got going right now. David Fisher, my partner, has a new model kit. It is titled Cursed, and it is another Mike Hill sculpture. It's a 2-figure kit, and that's Dave's baby. Him and his wife Cindy have a separate company called Nocturna Productions, and that's their latest release. And then I did a little side deal. It's a little King Kong piece that Jim Groman did for me. It's a little, we call it the Kong knife jockey, and it's a little Kong finger that holds an X-Acto knife. Oh geez, well, there's a lot of them out there that I think would be suitable, but I would really like to do an Alien and a Predator versus scene. I think would be kind of interesting to do. God, right now, that's just off the top of my head, there's just, I could go right on down the line. I think there's a lot of stuff. I think a bus series, we'd like to do a bus series at one point, but we get a lot of requests for the models, and at this point with the magazine being as, with the schedule that we have with the magazine, it's really tough to do the kits, and the people that have been following our kits realize that we only release one a year, and we feel that's the best way to promote a kit, give it a year out there. And our numbers prove it. We've moved well over 100 on all the releases, and one is actually almost nearing 250 copies. That's an interesting question. Within the last 2 years, I've heard so much negative comments about how this hobby is dying, how this hobby is losing people, how the pre-paints have cut into our market, how the toys have decimated our hobby. And I just don't believe that is the case. I believe that a modeler is a different breed than just what a collector is who would support the pre-paints or the toys. Modelers like to work with their hands, and they're not satisfied with anything. So the modeling industry right now gives them the releases that they need. At a show like Wonderfest, literally hundreds of people come from around the country to support the modeling endeavors by these producers. So right now, I think the hobby is healthy. I don't think it's as big as it used to be at its peak around '96, but I don't think it's dying by any means. And I always tell my detractors, if they don't believe me, just look at the latest issue, and you'll see literally in every issue there are hundreds of kits that have come out that we tried to promote. Wonderfest has always been good. This is my 11th show. It actually is the first garage kit show in the country. It doesn't really get credit for that, but in August of '90 was the first one. And every year I come here, I love it. I have been the biggest supporter of the show through the years. I constantly preach, you got to get your butt down to Louisville if you're into figure modeling. Everyone tells me that, hey, what's in Louisville? There's nothing in Louisville. And I said, well, there's a lot of model kits in Louisville. So this show was, again, this show actually was probably the best show I would have to say since the Harryhausen show of '96. Very well attended. Sales were very good. Kit releases were numerous, and the contest had nearly 400 entries again.
My name is Mike Wallace, and I'm here at Wonderfest, and I just won a gold award for best diorama, or not best diorama, but a gold award in dioramas, and won a most amazing figure at Wonderfest here 2001. And what I had was a HO scale Delgadosaurus Godzilla, which was the design which they never used for the American movie, and I got some Bachmann buildings, skyscrapers, did a lot of scratch building. Took me about a year to make, and well, it paid off. Well, I've been building models since about 1991, and I couldn't even tell you how many I've done. I mean, I used to do them for a local comic store and for other people, and then I found myself doing more for them than I was for myself, and it was just not, it was getting boring, you know, and so I just, no more for anybody else, I just do it for myself now. Well, that Needful Things Delgadosaurus is one of them. I keep seeing new favorite kits all the time. Shawn Nagle has some kits I really like a lot. I just picked up his King Kong, and then he's got a fellow sculptor that did a T-Rex to mate with there, or to go together. And I mean, every time I turn around, I see a kit that I like better than any other kit, though. So. I don't know what my dream kit is. I keep getting different ideas. Right now I'm working on a King Kong, which I'm going to customize to capture a scene from the original movie. It's a geometric Kong, and I'm going to take some of the techniques that I learned from some of David Fisher's videos on repositioning and stuff. I don't know. The dream kit changes from month to month. I keep seeing new things all the time, so that's hard to say. A big project I'm going to scrap. Actually, because it's getting too overruly, and I'm not getting that feeling that I get when I know something's working out. It's another Godzilla diorama, and I think I'm just gonna move on to something else. I'm just gonna make the Godzilla stand alone. The figure's done, and I'm gonna work on this King Kong project. I think, because I'm more psyched to do that than I am to do this the other project I started. Well, Wonderfest has been good for me this year, and it was actually really good for me last year. Last year was my first time, and I took 3 kits, and I took 3 silvers. So I wasn't satisfied with that for myself, so I got to work on this big diorama project because I wanted to win a gold, and I'm really happy that I did. I've received compliments from even Shawn Nagle, which I was very honored, and to me the highest honor is getting an award, you know, the most amazing figure from Amazing Figure Modeler. I mean, those guys are, like, to me, the height of the hobby, you know, like the pinnacle of this hobby.
Hi, my name is Mike Parks. My company is Mad Lab Models. Gosh, for Mad Lab, there's been, over about a 13-year period, there's probably been about 250, 275 individual pieces, and I've done probably 50 or 60 pieces outside of my own company, going into freelance work and favors for people. So it's been up over 300. Out of all of them, I did a commemorative piece last year for Wonderfest. I always do a representative piece for them to sell, create for merchandising, and something that will tout the guest artist of the year. And Bill Stout did who's a phenomenal artist, one of my icon favorites. He's a great graphic designer, and he did a piece with a raptor standing on a pile of skulls, and they used it on their program as their feature piece, and this thing just screamed out to be done 3-dimensionally. And after I got it done, I realized it was probably the quickest piece I ever did, and the most satisfying piece. So I would say that. Bernie Wrightson and I have settled on doing a line of his kits. I've been trying to get them done for the last year, so hopefully in the next 6 months, at least 3 of them will see the light of day. And I have a continuing line with Frank Dietz, who's a Disney artist, who's a featured artist at Wonderfest. And he's another one, and there's some Michael Kaluta stuff coming. The dream project would be the one that pays $1 million and only have to sell one. Whatever that is. When I first got in this in the late 80s, I really thought the modeling scene was going to be like just about everything else that's either trendy or of the moment. And it seemed like it was going to last for about 2 to 5 years and then just disappear off the face of the earth. And it's lasted up into the 2001, going on 2002, and I don't see it going anywhere. It goes up and down all the time, but this year with this show, it showed a resurgence of interest, and I think it's just as strong as it ever was. Great, great. Always a great time, always surprised at the interest, and always wonderful people.
Hi, my name is Scott Kelley. I represent Alternative Images Productions. Well, currently, Chris, we have 72 resin kits and 3 vinyl kits in production. Well, Chris, as you might imagine, I have 3 or 4 kits that I really like, but I'm a big favorite of the Creature from the Black Lagoon. So currently, our big Creature kit is my favorite. Well, we just secured a giant ape kit by Mark Van Tine, and it was in the show this year. It did extremely well. So that's our current big project. That'll be produced in vinyl, which is a big deal for us. Well, our dream project, and this has just finally come to light for us, is we have a 2-foot Creature from the Black Lagoon that we've been working on the better part of a year and a half for to get it just perfect. I'm rather excited about it, and so it's kind of nice to have it come to bear. Well, there's been a lot of rumors about the whole marketplace consolidating itself, and I think to some degree that's true. You had a lot of companies, small companies opened up, and they didn't run the business like a business. And concurrently, there seems to be a flux in the amount of model companies out there. But I think this is probably a little exaggerated. And it's still a lot of fun. It's just a great thing to do. Chris, every time I come to Wonderfest, it's been great. It's just a tremendous amount of fun, and the people I meet are all excellent. It's a great place to make friends, make new friends, and see old friends too as well.
Hi, my name's Wayne the Dane Hansen, and my company is the same doggone name. It's a sculpture services company, a model kit company, and a teaching sculpting company. Probably averaging about 3 kits a year, so figure the math, about 30 pieces. My favorite piece to date has to be a piece called the Templar Knight Zombie. It's an 18-inch tall Templar Knight who is the guardian of the Holy Grail, and he's immortal, but he's been aged into more of a zombie state, and he's going to have lots of chainmail on him. I'm booked solid through October of this year. I've got a 2-figure creature kit designed by the Aurora kit designer Dave Cockrum, who has designed the old Aurora kits in the past, and he's done a Revenge of the Creature story and series. This is number 2 in our kit line, where the creature's mate has been wounded fatally with one of those things they shoot underwater, the arrows, and he's holding her, and he's very perturbed. The dream project for me is creating monsters, mutating different Paleolithic species and combining them with human attributes. That's my favorite. The modeling scene at this time is downsizing. Model building is a generational thing, and there aren't many kids getting interested in it. So it's mostly all us old guys really carrying the modeling hobby on. Wonderfest has been really great. I come here to have fun and break even on my money. when I'm set up at my dealer table, and that's a good show for me, and I know I've done better than that.
Okay, I'm Ed Bowkley from Diceman Creations, Chiller Theater, and I'm also the editor of Model Maniacs magazine. Oh Lord, in the past 5 years, I'd say about 30 to 40 kits, not including replacement parts for the Aurora kits. My favorite piece to date is the large limited edition Creature from the Black Lagoon bust that appeared in the Creature from the Black Lagoon DVD. Yeah, as a matter of fact, at this last April's Chiller Theater Expo, I got the licensing for Michael Berryman from The Hills Have Eyes, and we're doing a kit of him from that movie in like 1/8 scale Aurora scale, and we're also doing a tribute bust to Jonathan Harris that I got the licensing for. To get Matt Mannett, who is a world-renowned sculptor of dinosaur kits, to do a Creature from the Black Lagoon. You know, a lot of people were saying it was stagnant and it was getting stale and slowing down, and I'll be honest, I was one of them people too, but it seems to be picking up within the past like 6 to 8 months. This year, I'm very pleased. It went very well. I mean, I made more money on Saturday than I did in the entire show last year. The attendance seems to be good. The model contest, as always, has been exemplary, and overall, it's been really good.
My name is Steve Iverson, and people know me as CultTVman on the internet. I run the best sci-fi modeling website in the world. It's over 1,000 web pages, get 1,800 hits a day, 1,800 visitors a day. I send out a sci-fi modeling email digest every week to those who subscribe to it, so it's a pretty comprehensive modeling website. Well, I produce the website. I try and update that on a daily basis, at least every other day, and I produce the weekly modeling digest. I have 1,200 subscribers that get that. As far as products, I produce a series of videos called Fantastic Modeling. People send me video, people send me examples of what they've done. They talk about what their kits are. They photograph their kits as they're building them, and I take all the video, compile it, and put together a tape every year of that material. I also put out my first resin kit this summer. It's of the Creature from The Fly. It's a 10-piece resin kit, and we're pretty proud of that. It's something that I never thought I'd envision myself doing. Everything I've done, I'm proud of the website most of all, simply because people come to me and tell me that this has gotten them interested in modeling again, or that it's helped them to get their kids involved in modeling. And I guess if people are building models because of what I'm doing, I'm excited. I've got a couple of videos I want to do. There's a tape called Fantastic Scratch Building to complement the Fantastic Modeling series, where we do step-by-step scratch build. I want to do more resin kits, more figures. We've got a couple of those in the works. It's too early to talk about them, but I want to just keep producing on a small scale. It's a hobby. I have this dream project I've had since I was 10, 12, 14 years old, a diorama of all the old monster models, the Universals, all in roughly the same scale. The inspiration came from the old monster scenes that Aurora put out in the early 70s. So one of these days I'm going to do something like that. And I would also love to do my own line of science fiction kits, but that's, you know, another project, a lot more time, a lot more money, so we'll see. Modeling scene is changing. Revell Monogram, Ertl, they're all kind of phasing out of the figures and the hardware, the sci-fi hardware. So it's leaving us in a bit of a bastion, an island, isolated from the rest of the modeling community. The stuff we do now is going to be resin kits, it's going to be garage kits, small run manufacturing, kind of what modeling industry was in the mid-'80s when the garage kit industry started. I think the future of modeling is, it's an adult hobby, not a kid hobby anymore. It's important that we keep getting kids involved. It's important that we sit down and build models with our children, with our friends, with our nieces and nephews, and expose them to the creativity involved. There's nothing like seeing a kid take a model kit and follow the instructions step by step by step and put that together and create a completed piece of art, and they're proud of it. Wonderfest has been fantastic. We've sold lots of our Jupiter 2 lighting kits. We've sold lots of our Jupiter 2 decals. We've sold many of our books. We've pre-sold and promoted our new upcoming book. We've sold videos. We've met friends. We've gotten together and watched movies together. It's been a very, very satisfying experience.
My name is Robb Rotundi, and my company name is Needful Things. Between 20 and 30. Right now, I'd have to say Russell Crowe from Gladiator. Ed Harris from The Abyss. John Wayne piece. And some science fiction villain pieces that I cannot talk about right now. I think I pretty much already done it. That would have to be the Rooster Cogburn that we did, which is available now. I kind of did that for the love of my dad. I think the modeling scene is very creative. I think it's very abundant. I think it needs to be enforced to keep original pieces of artwork at its status of being original and not ripped off or reproduced by recasters that are, to me, the plague of this hobby and this business. Wonderfest is always a great show for us, and I love attending it.
I'm George Stephenson. I'm President and General Counsel for Geometric Design, Inc.
We probably produced, including all the bases we've done and customizing kits, probably pretty close to 100 kits. You know, I really like our unnameable kit. But I also like the, you know, we do, before we ship kits off for production, for vinyl production, we pull resin masters. And the resin masters are more true to the original sculpture than the vinyl pieces. And the resin master of our wharf kit is just phenomenal. I'd say that's probably my favorite one. We're kicking around a couple of ideas. One is a bust of Darkness from Legend. One is a bust of the Queen Alien. And the next full figured kit that we do is a 1/8 scale kit of one of the slags from Alien Nation. All three of those will be resin. We'll do them before the end of the year, and then that's probably going to be it for the year. We've done them. We've done them all. Pumpkinhead, the Unnameable, Blackula, Star Trek, the Universal Monsters, the Alien.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, the ones we go after are the ones that I'm dying to do, either because I don't think anybody will do them, or because nobody has done them the way I'd like to see them done. And that's not to say that people haven't done them well. It's just that, you know, some of these characters, I have in mind how I want to do it. And shoot, that's why I started Geometric in the first place, because there were models that I didn't think people would do that I really wanted. I'd say, if I had to say what one was my dream project, Pumpkinhead. Boy, that's a mixed bag. You know, there's some nasty stuff going on. You've got some of the stuff that we're dealing with, the bootlegs that are coming from Asia. They've completely wiped out our foreign sales. We have no sales in Europe anymore. We have no sales in Asia anymore. And that's a significant chunk of our sales, of our gross sales. And there's not a whole lot that we can do about it, because I don't have time to chase down everybody that's doing it and who's selling them. And now they're showing up on eBay, and now those bootleg sales are impacting our sales right here in the U.S. Among the good things that are going on, I mean, you've got a lot of new people coming in to produce kits, which is cool. You got a lot of new ideas. There's a lot of young talent that's coming in, better than the guys that were in it 10 years ago. I mean, 10 years ago you had John Dennett and Randy Bowen and Jeff Yeager and Tom Kuntz, and those guys were pretty much regarded by everyone to be the best in the business. But the guys who are coming into it now are better than those guys were 10 years ago. And so what you're seeing is the sculpting on kits being better, you know, as guys start up. Phenomenal. This show is better for every year. Every year it's better than the last year. Last year was the best show we had ever done. I haven't counted all the money, but I think this year is the best show we've ever done.
My name is Lynn Burks. I'm from Everett, Washington, and I'm here to try and beat Joe Graziano in the contest, which I thought I had done until he went ahead and took a bronze. We were even before that. I did not fail. And I entered the Bride of Frankenstein by Geometric. My favorite I've built, I would say, has got to be the one I entered today, the Bride of Frankenstein. I took a second place on my very first one, which was a Soul of Baden, and I took third on Future's Maria Smoking, and I've also gotten an honorable mention for a scratch-built pod racer conversion. Oh, what's the name of that? Lady Slave. The Lady Slave kit. I believe it's by Future. Yeah, Lady Slave. By Volks, sorry. I just got into it 3 years ago, and I didn't even know it existed before then, and it's been thrilling. I've had a great time. I did regular painting on paper, and I had no idea there was like three-dimensional things I could work on, and now I'm addicted. Very fun. I've met most of these people online before I went to my first Wonderfest last year, and coming here, it's like family reunion every time the 2 times I've been here. It's just like a family reunion. Everybody is wonderful. It's just relaxed and fun and mellow, and everybody's supportive of everybody else, and there's no judging. There's no this kit's better than that kit. It's just everybody's really supportive of everybody else's work.
My name's Joe Graziano. I was staff writer for Modelers Resource. Now I'm down to a part-time writer, and mostly I do science fiction and fantasy, and mostly science fiction and a lot of scratch-built stuff. Well, the 2 that I entered in the show here, I did a scratch-built hover tank. That was my design, and I did a conversion on the Federation hover tank from episode 1. Yes, I did. I got a merit award for the scratch built and a bronze award for the Federation tank. And my Narasawa Devilman kit, probably. A 1/1 scale powered armor suit, SF3D style would be, yeah. We could do with less recasts and more original kits, I think. There's enough movie kits, there's enough Predator and Godzilla and Alien kits out there. I think we could do with some original designs. I love it. This is my 3rd one. I'll be back next year and the year after, and I'm sorry I missed the ones before it, so.
My name is Anthony Taylor, and I write a monthly column on garage kits for Toy Shop magazine, and I'm also the co-editor of CultTVman's Ultimate Guide to Modeling the Jupiter 2. Got CultTVman's Ultimate Modeling Guide to classic sci-fi movies, which will be out this fall and includes chapters on building kits from movies ranging from Georges Méliès' A Trip to the Moon all the way up to Star Trek the Motion Picture. I'm doing it. I'm writing the books, and maybe one day we'll do a magazine or something, but just doing the books for right now is a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I think it's probably been hearkened to an early death more than it's actually died one. I don't think it's really doing too badly. Our site, www.culttvman.com, gets close to 2,000 hits a day. The average page views are 5 per unique visitor, and the average length of stay is something close to 23 minutes. So we've got a lot of people interested that are coming to the website. We've had a really good show. The crowd seems a lot larger than last year, a lot more money changing hands, a lot of kids walking out. So I think they've breathed a little new life into the show.
The name is Chris White. I'm here representing Polar Lights. I'm actually a freelancer, freelance illustrator, but I am here as their guest at Wonderfest. I've done probably about 25, 26 paintings, but that also includes product, concept illustrations, some designs for kits. As far as covers, I've done about 16 covers for them so far. You know, the pat answer is, oh, the one I'm working on is the favorite, or the next one is the favorite. Probably, when I look at all of them, the one I enjoyed the most was the Three Stooges. It ended up being one long painting that I worked with 3 individual figures, but I had a blast doing all the detail, the funny Three Stooge in-jokes in the hieroglyphics that were in the background. I actually can't tell you. I just finished the Godzilla kit that will be out in the fall of 2000. I do know some of the pieces that are going to be produced and other ones that are pending licensing, but there are some more kits. There'll be more kits that'll be interesting for the science fiction and classic fans. To be honest, just doing the work for them is actually kind of a dream project. I was, like so many guys, I built the kits as I was a kid, and I built them with my father. So just the fact that I'm able to follow in the footsteps of folks like James Bama and Mort Kunstler, just the whole series of assignments is a dream for me. We've had a good time. Lee Stanton and the crew are just fabulous. They, anything we need, they've been most helpful. It was great seeing Forbidden Planet on the big screen, and Anne Francis. I fell in love all over again with Anne Francis. So the whole show has just been a real good experience. Fans have been good. It's a real good time.
My name is Shawn Nagle. I work in the toy industry and model kits. I have a company called Nagleworks that I make my own model kits. And also my production is under that name as well for toys, model kits, and giftware products. I would say it's going to be close to 100 soon. No, there's favorite elements of pieces I've done, but I wouldn't say a favorite piece. Yeah, I'm working with a guy in California. He's actually doing sports memorabilia, and I've already done a Mike Tyson for him, and I'm going to also be doing Muhammad Ali when he defeats Sonny Liston. I think that was like 68 or 70, something like that. Model kit-wise, I think the first thing that this guy is going to put out, it's not my company, it's another company that I work for, will be a Juggernaut. Marvel Comics fights the X-Men. That'll be the first kit that he puts out, and that'll probably be the newest thing. I did a King Kong fighting T-Rex. I had a good friend of mine and a very talented sculptor do the Tyrannosaurus for it, and I'm very proud of the piece. I think the modeling scene is fine. I think what's happened with the modeling scene is that the pressure is on to do very good work. And if you're not doing very good work, it may not sell, and therefore people are panicking thinking that model kits are going downhill, but really what it is it's forcing the hobby to go to a higher level. Excellent. Excellent show this year.